I'm going to start off today asking a couple of questions. First one is, how you feeling? And the second one is, have you been doing anything different? Have you been doing anything that we've talked about previously over the last couple of weeks? Have you put anything into practice? If you have, has it been working? If you haven't, and you're still feeling anxious, scared, depressed, any negative feelings, if you haven't put anything into place, why not? There's a lot of advice floating around the internet, but there's also on our group, there's loads of advice. If you haven't tried anything, then why not? So, Wim Hof method, have a look back, give it a go. I've been doing it now, I think 8 days, I think it is, and noticed a real difference, particularly straight after I've done it. It's a good feeling. Form of meditation. There's Headspace. That's brilliant for getting to sleep as well. Good to do first thing in the morning, or just to pause your day. There's 3-minute ones, so it doesn't even have to be a long thing. There's also a lot of mindfulness stuff. Just taking in what's going on around you when you are walking, or when you're in the garden or whatever. Just having those moments when you're looking into the sky or looking into the trees or whatever. Practicing gratitude. Just talking around the table, or just talking when you're sitting, having your dinner, or in the garden or whatever. Just talking about what are you grateful for. So there are lots of different things that you can be doing. So if you are still feeling bad in whatever way, quite regularly, because we're all going to have ups and downs, but if it's a regular thing, if you're not doing anything different, then nothing's going to change, and that's just a fact of life. If you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, then I think Einstein said it's the definition of madness. So if you want changes to happen, then you've got to do different things. You've got to change up your habits. And I know I keep banging on about habits, but it's crucial. The points I want to talk about today, I want to talk about happiness and how to get happy. A lot of what I talk about comes from books. I don't just dream up things and then go, right, okay, I'm gonna say this today. This is my philosophy, my ethos of life, I suppose. It does come from books. It comes from books that I read. It comes from books that my wife might read, and she might pass some stuff on to me. So sometimes I'll get up and I might read first thing in the morning, and that sort of that'll encourage me then to go, right, I want to share that. I want to share what I've just read with the group. A lot of what the work I do in school will be things that I've read that I know have helped me and have helped others that I've worked with. So I'll share that. I'll share. I've been watching the webinars, but that's the other thing. If you haven't looked at the webinars that are posted on the group, if you're struggling at home for any way with the children or anything, have a look at the webinars. I watched a brilliant one on routines the other day. I think it was Emma Weaver, and she was brilliant. Some of the stuff that she's talking about, she explains it really, really well. It's about an hour long. Well, even if you listen to it in chunks, well worth a listen. There's some on autism, some on ADHD. Just have a look through, because you can look at past ones as well. Definitely worth a look. And sometimes I'll watch webinars like that, and the advice that I listen to, then it's like, that's a really good piece of advice. That I'll use that, and I'll use that with the families I work with. So it's there is a lot of that's going on. I've got my own ideas as well, but a lot of what I read and listen to and hear, I'll take it in, and then I'm trying to give it to you guys in my way, I suppose. So today I'm going to talk about happiness and getting happy. I read a couple of pages today in The Slight Edge again. If you haven't bought it yet, buy it. Amazing book. And he's talking about happiness, and he's talking about a guy called Sean Aker, and he has done research that he believes, or has shown, that if you do one of these 5 things every single day and make it a habit, the slight edge, make it a habit, okay? The easy things to do, he says after 21 days you'll notice a clear difference. So the first one is each morning write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not the same 3 things every day. 3 things you're grateful for, something different every day. It's not going to take you long. It's an easy habit to get into. Okay. Second one is journal for 2 minutes a day about one positive experience you've had over the past 24 hours. Okay. Something else not going to take you long. The third one, meditate daily, which I've talked about numerous times on here. Doesn't have to be 10, 20, 30 minutes, it could be 3 minutes. It's just, you don't even have to listen to Headspace. It's a case of just stopping and maybe counting your breaths in and out for a couple of minutes, or just noticing your breath, noticing the noises around you. Just meditating, just stopping and being in the moment, that sort of meditation. Fourth one is do a random act of kindness over the course of each day. How hard can that be? It doesn't have to be massive gesture, just a random act of kindness. And the fifth one is exercise for 15 minutes daily at least. That could be a walk. It doesn't have to be a sprinting or lifting weights or doing anything mega. It could just be a walk, just doing something that gets you moving, gets your lungs opening a little bit. So you don't have to do all 5 every day. Choose one and just start with one and do it consistently every single day. And then in 3 weeks' time, see if there's a difference in how you feel. Okay, so that's what I've read today, and that's what I want to share with you. Now, some of these I know that I'm doing every day, and I know that it's made a difference in my life over a long period of time. So I believe that, and I think you've got to live it to believe it. So if you're thinking, whatever, give it a go. Give it a go. What harm can it do to try a random act of kindness for 3 weeks every day? What harm can it do to write down 3 things or talk about 3 things you're grateful for every day? Again, just getting into these good habits. Get into good habits and your life's gonna turn, isn't it? If you're not feeling great, then I'd say that there's a massive chance that you're in bad habits. Bad habits of thought. What this is going to do, and what the science has proven, is it rewires the brain. It rewires the brain so that you start thinking positively and you start seeing the world as a more positive place. Because at the moment, if you're not feeling great, the chances are the world around you isn't a very positive experience for you, and you can change that. You've got the power to change that, and that's by getting into good habits. And I've given you 5 things that you can do today that might just change that. Will just change that if you do it consistently every day. So today we're talking about rewiring the brain to create happiness, and who doesn't want to be happy? So have a think about everything we've talked about today, but I suppose the one thing that I want you to take away from today is, let's give one of these 5 practices a try for 3 weeks and let's see how you feel. Okay, it'd be great if you shared it with me, but you don't have to. Some people have got in touch with me over the past few days, giving me a bit of a background story of where they're at and how they've been feeling and stuff. One lad in particular is a best mate from high school, and it choked me up a bit hearing from him how he'd been feeling, saying how much the advice and videos and stuff were helping him. Great to hear from him. Great to hear from you, mate. And it's amazing when I hear stories like that, because that is the whole reason why I'm bothering getting up in the morning and sharing this stuff. So if it's helping you, amazing. If it's not and you're thinking talking a load of codswallop, feel free to leave the group. But have a good day. Please do let me know how you're getting on, and I will see you soon. Have a good day.